thanks for staying on. Suspended Eastern Cape Spokesperson Vuyiseka Mboxela says her suspension is unprocedural. The department suspended Mboxela in August this year on alleged allegations of harassment and misconduct. In a statement this week, Mboxela announced her return to work, citing that her 60-day suspension is over, but the department says her return to work is a violation of the condition of her removal. The department says it applied for an extension for her suspension to the 26th of November. Well, she joins us now to tell us a little bit more about these issues. Good to have you, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mdluli, and good afternoon to the newsroom viewers.
Now, for those who might not understand what is going on here, I mean, they're saying you are suspended for broader ill treatment of your staff, not one, it's like many, right? What we do know is an incident that, of course, was recorded, went viral on social media, where you were having an altercation with a colleague. Are these things related?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mdluli. Maybe there's something, man, that I wish to put you into context. One, the situation that I'm in is not a situation that talks to Mboxela as a person alone. It's an ongoing suspension that relates to many other officials in the very same department. I'm not the only one who's suspended, and most probably I'm not the only one that is feeling the pinch that I'm feeling. But the difference between me and many other people is that I'm able to talk. And if I tell you, there is a bit of a correlation between what you are referring to, which is 2023 incident, and the 2025 incident. Because at the center, at the final detail of the people that are involved, even on this incident, is the people, are the people that are in the very same office that was orchestrating that happened in 2023. And I must make this very clear that even in the event of 2025, the team of people that I work with, when this incident that is acclaimed of me, which I never knew, I was never given a chance to air my side of the story as an SMS member, that is the top management of the department. I should have been given an intent to suspend me by the department, but it never happened. It's just a meeting between Nehau and the Department of Education leadership on the 22nd of August, and then on the 25th of August, Mboxela is suspended, without even knowing why is she suspended. But what is at the center of everything is beneficiation of certain individuals in my attack in the very same department. And what is very clear is that it doesn't matter what I could have done. A decision and a resolution that was taken, as I can tell you, in the court submission that the department did, of saying that I must be interdicted by court to talk to people of South Africa and explain my side of the story. It said, following a preliminary investigation on the issue raised against the respondent being Mboxela, it was resolved that the respondent be placed on precautionary suspension in terms of the DC conduct procedure as of the SMS handbook. The very same handbook that is being mentioned in the court papers by the department suggests that when you are about to suspend Mboxela, apply the rule of audi alteram partem. That is, give her a chance to air her side of the story.
How did they reach a resolution without
that's the fundamental question, because in the meeting that they set on the 22nd of August, I was not there.
Right.
To air my own side of the story. Because in all what is being said, in the entire investigation, the staff that I work with has never been investigation, but an investigation has been concluded. But the people that are the ones that are said to be ill-treated by Mboxela, none of them.
Do you know them?
I know the people that should have been...
that complained about your treatment?
I don't know them.
Okay.
I don't have a grievance in the Department of Education presented to me, as it is a procedure that I must be presented with a grievance, and then after being presented with a grievance, I must then be given 7 days to respond on the grievance. And then from that, you then, as a department, say that based on what is being said and what is being responded, here is the way forward. I don't have any of that.
So what is this matter that they've referred to the Directorate of Labour Relations?
What they are saying there is that there's a lady that in the directorate that I'm in that collapsed, and that lady was shouted by me. But what is funny enough, Mr. Mdluli, is that the very same lady that is being referred to was taken by me to the hospital. And the second thing is that you sign a claim form in a nepotism kind of an arrangement. In that entire department, I'm the only one who's Mboxela. And the other thing is that I give people responsibilities according to friendship. In the entire directorate, it's people that I found them there, and there is not even a single one that I've appointed as a new person who could be viewed as my friend. And above everything else, below me, there's a group of 3 assistant directors, which those assistant directors are the ones that are responsible to send people from different programs. So all of that, it's things that I could have been given a chance to just explain them that this is what is happening and this is what I do not know. But until today, I've never been given that opportunity to say, here is a grievance to you. What is it that you are saying? But what I have before me, it's a suspension letter and a charge sheet.
And an extension of your suspension now with another 30 days, I think, added to it. We're doing a story now where Action is saying similar things are happening in other departments where people have been going through disciplinary processes since 2021. Yours maybe is a little bit less, but you are quoted in one of the publications as saying, well, why should I worry if they are going to give me what I need to get? I'll stay at home for all intents and purposes, as long as they're paying me.
I say that, Mr. Mdluli, with a heavy consciousness, because there are many public servants that are sit at home on issues that could be handled and finished within a space of the prescribed time frame. But some, they are at home. And for me, I had to go back to work because what happened is that on the 60th day, on day number 60, at 10 to 7, which was on a Friday on the 24th of last month, I get an email from the lawyer that has been appointed by the department to say, please note that your suspension has been extended. And in the email that is sent to me, there is no one from the department that is attached so that I can know that this is a view of the department. It's just an email from the lawyer to me. And outrightly, I said, this is unlawful. I reject it.
That was your response to the lawyer?
Yes. I responded to the lawyer. I said, you know that this is unlawful and I am rejecting it. And the basis of my own rejection is because in terms of the very same SMS handbook, which they've used to charge me in the manner in which they are, it suggests that only the chairperson of the DC must extend the precautionary suspension only when there would have been a presentation from the employer to the employee and say, I am making this request that I extend Mboxela's suspension based on 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Then looking at the 2 scenarios, the chairperson takes a decision. None of that happened in my case. I only got an email, and I knew that the very same department has had even people sitting at home because they are on suspension and not come back, and then when they come back, they're told that you have been absconding for this X number of days. So I thought, no, for me to be in the safer side, I must go back to work, because even on the day I was given the precautionary suspension by the chief director responsible for labor, he said it to me clearly that if 60 days come to an end and you have not been given a reason to extend, you must come back to work, because that's what even the SMS handbook says. Yeah. So I came back to work, and I was at work for 3 days. Yeah. It's only on the day 4 that which they rushed it to Bishop High Court for an urgent application that I mustn't be at work. And I was happy with that, because I'll be having a document officially that says you must sit at home. Therefore, it means no one can come and say you have been absconding.
What is the reason now for extension?
They say that there's no, the reason for me is that you are violating your suspension. But from where I'm seated, the suspension ended on the 24th of last month.
That surely can't be the reason for extending the suspension.
There is no reason that has been presented to me.
However, they call your behavior insolent behavior. How do you feel about
that? The reality in South Africa, Mr. Mdluli, is that The person that is supposed to uphold the rule of law willingly sometimes don't do that. And when you retaliate based on what is being done to you, you are then regarded as a rebellious person. If the Eastern Cape Department of Education was treating me with fairness, respect, and follow the processes of government and the policies, I wouldn't have done that. I was suspended in the very same department, Mr. Mdluli, in 2023. 2 years later, I didn't get the report. Until on the 3rd of August, I wrote to the HOD and said, can you please give me the report, that which as a department you conducted. It took me the whole month of August having a back and forth email to the very same HOD to say, I need this report. I was a participant. It is within my right to know what the report is. Instead of me being given a report, Mr. Mdluli, I got given a charge for the 2023 event. That's the reality. So you must understand that I am not lying when I say that this thing has got nothing to do perhaps with Mboxela alone as a person, because I'm not the one who's suspended. There are many other people that are suspended in the department. And in terms of following the procedure, is a clear total disregard of that. And as a result, I said to myself, even though I know that now this matter has been made a political fight, I'm not interested in that, but I'm interested in an institution that respects the policies of government. And as a result, like many decide to die in depression, I refuse to do that. I refuse to die silently. And I refuse to let people of the province and the country to know that Mboxela is this rebellious person. I'm not.
So
this is a fourth institution.
You are saying you are not being targeted solely. There are others as
there
well
are others.
who are going through the same process.
There are others. Others,
right.
They are even submitting themselves in psychiatric hospitals.
Yeah. So, but what is the commonality of all these people who are being targeted, so that you get to a sense of a motive of why this is being done?
Once you refuse to take an instruction which, based on what you know in the directorate that you're in, as an unlawful instruction, surely the wrath is coming. For an example, I tell you, in August the 2021, we were holding a G20 as a province. And as a director responsible for communications and event, I was very central in the organizing of it because of my own responsibility. But someone whom I'm not going to mention here because I do not have money to go in court with him, send a message to the head of department and say that your directorate of communication, your department of communication is failing you. And when I looked at the manner in which this message was written, I could tell that this is not a person that is within the directorate, because at government, we've got a language in which we talk about. And then you would know that if this was a person coming from the department, he would have said, our directorate. But the person says, your department of communication is failing you. That message was sent to the head of department on the 20th of August. On the 25th, I was suspended.
Were you confronted with that particular message by the head?
I was sent that message.
Right.
And I kept quiet. I didn't respond because before you can stage an event, there is a document that you write, which we called it a submission. You tell what you are going to do. I did all of that. And the chief director signed the plan that I said that this is what you're going to do in relation to the G20 and every other people, including the very same HOD. Yeah. And when that message came from her to me, I then had a problem. But I told myself, no, let me not respond. But 3 days later, I get a suspension, and I could see that I know where is this coming from. And I'm not lying when I say that it has got everything to do with people that want to benefit within the department, and specifically in the directorate that I'm in. Because if you care to know now, there are people that are very close to the very same Nehao that sat in a meeting and resolved that Mboxela must be suspended, that today have got themselves having a potential to be appointed as acting deputy directors in the very same directorate that I'm in. Something that is known that I was refusing it to happen, because if you are an assistant director, you are an acting assistant director, you can't then be made an acting deputy director because the policy of HR doesn't agree to that. But I tell you now, there is that which is happening currently. And the reason why my suspension had to be extended is because people that are supposed to sign the memo had not yet signed it. On the 26th of November, which is the day I'm expected to come back, possibly such a memo would have been signed and finalized.
Is that part of what they're saying is misinformation that you're spreading around?
No, it's not a misinformation. It's factual. I know what I'm talking about. I work in that department.
Because they're saying, well, part of what is going to be a backlash for you is the fact that you, as you say, you've been going around on media and other platforms saying things which they're saying are incorrect.
That is not the issue, Mr. Mdluli. On the 27th...
There are words providing public with inaccurate information, just to be precise.
No, that is not true. On the 27th, after I was suspended, I sent an email to the head of the department. I said to her, I'm not contesting your decision to suspend me, but please do not take this to the public because it has got a potential of destroying me as a person. Because whilst I work in the department, I've got my own image, which I must protect as I protect the image of the department. And I was very explicit to say to the HOD, if HOD, you take this to the public, I know what happened in 2023. I will be left with no choice but to defend myself. And it's exactly what I'm doing, because beyond being an anchor at Newzroom, you have yourself, and I have myself, and I have my family, I have my friend, and I have another person that can be interested in employing me. So when the person wants to employ me has got this kind of information that is not reported, that does not have the side of Mboxela, what then becomes of me? Because in the public, I'm painted as this person that doesn't want to take instruction, which is not the case, because Department of Education is the fourth employer in my life. And in all the three institutions, I have never had a DC. In fact, even in school, I've never been a person that is in conflict with leadership. But at the current state, I can see that it's not just about to deal with the issue. It's about to deal with the issue and the person. Yeah. And that is what I'm refusing, that I can lose the job, as some are saying, but I must not lose myself.
Are you anticipating backlash? I mean, particularly around the events of this week, where you return back to work, according to them, in contravention of the provisions of your suspension?
Legally, I know that they would not have any fact to prove. I know for a fact they would not have any fact to prove. They would not have any fact to prove.
That you contravened your
they would not have.
They
would not have any fact to prove, because at the time they were making that argument, the 24th at 4:30 was the time to which the suspension was ending. The email to say your suspension is has been extended, it's at 7:10. So when something has lapsed completely, you can't then add something and say that I'm extending it. That because anyway, the policy, the SMS handbook says you must discuss all of that before the actual end. Yeah. And that must be done with both parties. Yeah. And from where I'm seated, I do not have any discussion that was ever made.
So where you are sitting now, never mind the initial suspension which you accepted, you're saying was not procedural. Now you are sitting in an illegal suspension as far as you're concerned.
I'm sitting in an illegal suspension, and I am just respecting the court of law, which said that we are interdicting you, don't go to work. And from where I'm seated, in terms of what I know, that when you sit at home without any formal documentation, the very same institution can just say that we have never done that. Because what made me to be more frustrated was the fact that this email is coming from a lawyer. There is no one in the department that is attached to the email. And there is no formal communication with someone's signature so that I can know that this is authentic. It's just an email. And that email does not have anyone in the department. It just has the lawyer and the other Smith Tabata lawyer to me. And I told both of them that I will reject this, because you, both of you as lawyers, you know this is unlawful. And as it is unlawful, the fact that there is no one from the department that is attached, it then tells me that anytime the employer can say, we have never issued any instruction that you must sit at home. You did that out of your own design. Right.
Let's leave it there. That's Vuyiseka Mboxela, suspended spokesperson for the Eastern Cape Department